Hey guys, so you might have stumbled upon some people who have edited down the Obi-Wan Kenobi show into a 2 hour long movie, which I think is a pretty cool idea. The most well known of these is the Patterson cut, which is 2 hours and a half. I did a quick skim through of that, but the one I really looked at into was another one, and then just look up on YouTube Obi-Wan Kenobi movie fan made trailer or something like that, and there's a link in the description to go to that. It's on Discord. You can watch it on Discord apparently. Yeah, okay. It's a bit weird, but okay. And it is 2 hours and 12 minutes, which I think is pretty good. And yeah. And I took it upon myself to edit down the Obi-Wan Kenobi show into a 2 hour and 5 minute movie, which does not include a lot of stuff. It's definitely just the quickest way to watch it, and I think it's pretty good. Now I didn't really edit it; I just trimmed it down. So yeah, it's not available to watch. I'm just gonna say that for you guys. I didn't put that much effort into this. Just saying. But I don't feel guilty not putting it up on the internet because there's no edits to it really. There's nothing really to see. Okay, everything that I've edited, that I recorded off my phone on the TV. That's how I did. That's how I did it. All of that is just on Disney Plus, and it's gonna be way better quality. But there's other few people actually edited the show. So I'm gonna be going through my changes and the other people's changes, kind of comparing all four of them. You know, the Kenobi show, the Patterson cut, the one that I watched. You know, the third one doesn't really have any name, and the one I edited. Okay, comparing all four of them, kind of. So let's get into this, guys. I'm actually pretty excited to do this. Comment down below if you want me to do this to other shows and Star Wars stuff. You don't even have to do that because I actually already have done that. I've edited all the three prequel movies into one film, and the Book of Boba Fett show into one film. So yeah. Also working on Bad Batch season 1, which is pretty hard because it's so long. Anyway, let's get into this. So I did not include the recap because we don't exactly need that. I mean, it was cool, but I wanted to get this down to as short as possible, and I did not include the Order 66 part of the scene. This scene was really, really cool, but it just kind of spoiled the plot twist. I think it'd be a lot more surprising if we didn't get the scene. We just saw Riva and later on, actually do a plot twist and said that she was a youngling in Order 66 and stuff. But the Order 66 scene kind of makes it obvious. And I think the other two cuts did cut it out as well. So yeah, I'm in the majority here. No one likes the scene. Boo. The Inquisitor scene is not the first scene, though I did actually include it. It's just later on, that little young Jedi, he comes to Obi-Wan, and of course Obi-Wan kind of says like, no, go away, bury the lightsaber in the sand. Ugh. And then the Inquisitors come and discover the Jedi, okay, and I actually removed all of the Grand Inquisitor and the Fifth Brother talking to Riva and getting annoyed with her because I want Riva to be a threat, and maybe Riva's incompetence and stuff kind of comes into light later on and that stuff because I want her to be a threat early on and that. So I cut away with her kind of slicing his shoulder, and I go right away, and then the next scene with him, he's dead. This also does kind of include the part where Riva tortures Owen and Tonson. And we're not saying that that's kind of crucial to the story for the later on in the story, episode 6, but no, I'll talk about that later on. I kept in a lot of the Obi-Wan Kenobi stuff, just walking around Tatooine and that, because that was kind of necessary to show his depressed state. I did cut out the part where this guy didn't get his food, and the owner of the place where Obi-Wan works at got angry and stuff. I didn't think that's really that necessary. I mean, it was cool to see that Obi-Wan just wasn't his old self again, but it's not really necessary. We can all do without it. So yeah, pretty much every scene I keep in, the part where he tries to reach out to Qui-Gon, the parts with him and Bail, where he leaves Tatooine, every one of them I keep in. I just trim some of them so they kind of go a little bit faster. I'm just saying, this goes for a lot of scenes. I did trim them down a little bit, so they're a little bit shorter, so that's how I get the 2 hour, 5 minute runtime. I'm just saying. I kept in most of the Leia scenes, but I did cut off the chase. Like, come on, everyone else cut out the chase. I needed to cut out that chase. They just capture her straight away, and I do cut out all the scenes where she's on the ship with them on going to the planet. Like, that was really unnecessary. The next time we see Leia is on that city planet. Also, the one that I skimmed through, that one, that I cut out all the Leia scenes, and the first time we see her is on is on the sleep planet, but that's stupid. Like, why would you do that? Why would you want to cut out those scenes that are important? We need to establish Leia as a character. And also, I think it's nice to have Leia in the scenes that are more of as a kid, on her own. We see Alderaan. And also, it makes the part on Tatooine pretty short. Like, he leaves the planet 15 minutes in, and I think that's a little bit too quickly. Obi-Wan leaves the planet in my version half an hour in, so there's, like, much more stuff here. Yeah, so I trimmed down the first episode to half an hour. I didn't cut out that much, but I cut out a lot in the next episode. So, episode 2, I cut down a lot of Obi-Wan just walking around the planet scenes. Daiyu is... yes, that's where he is. But I had to leave in the Tamora Morrison cameo. Like, come on, man. You can't just leave that out. That was Tamora Morrison's only part of the show. He's such a good actor. And the Easter egg is just so cool. It really doesn't take Obi-Wan long to get into the prison and break Leia out. And I just cut out this chase again. This time they just walk straight into the area. Leia chase is never really that good. Now, we do not have the scene where Obi-Wan really connects back into the Force. And that was a cool scene, but, we don't really need that. It's not absolutely essential to the story. That does kind of hinder it a bit, but whatever, guys. This is an improvement, okay? So he gets Leia, they kind of get to know each other a little bit, and they come there, and then Reva kind of taunts Obi-Wan and tells him that Vader's still alive, then they go away, and they come out of the planet. So, 13 minutes there on Daiyu. I cut out a lot of scenes with Reva. I only had a few scenes that were just on the planet a bit. Yeah. Her realizing that Leia had escaped, and her putting the bounty on Obi-Wan, and her then taunting Obi-Wan and telling him that Vader is still alive. There's no scenes with the Grand Inquisitor or any of the other Inquisitors here. So the Grand Inquisitor does not die here because it's absolutely worthless. Everyone knows that he survives because of rebels. Well, I mean, most of us know. So it's kind of a waste of time to put it in the story, so I just cut it out completely. Now, the cut that I skimmed through and watched included all stuff on Daiyu, had half an hour on Daiyu, and Daiyu isn't even that good of a planet, to be honest. I actually thought it was a Coruscant when Obi-Wan first arrived here. It just kind of feels like a new Screw District ripoff. Also, I cut out all of the scenes with Haja as well, because he's not exactly necessary. And he doesn't tell Obi-Wan about the stuff. He just goes to the port and just leaves and just kind of decides to do that on his own. He's not doing that because Haja told him to. And in the next episode, he doesn't mention Haja and mention that kind of stuff. So, of course, we have the scene with Vader now. I just cut out the part where Reva mentions the Grand Inquisitor's death, because that doesn't happen. I did cut out actually the Vader scenes at the end of episode 2, and I forgot how cool they were, how the Vader's suit was assembled. And yeah, my bad, because I probably should have included them, unfortunately. But it's really cool to see Vader here. So we just have Obi-Wan say Anakin, and it cuts right to this part of the movie. I did leave a lot of stuff in episode 3. A lot of stuff in episode 3 is either necessary to the plot of the whole show, or it's just really interesting. Like Obi-Wan seeing Anakin, on the weird ass green planet, and Obi-Wan talking to Leia all the time, and him talking about his family and knowing Leia's mother and stuff, and all the truck and all the action. A lot of it's just really necessary. I didn't have to cut out barely anything here. Just a bit at the beginning, Vader's suit at the beginning, as I said, and Vader and Obi-Wan mentioning stuff about Haja. That's all I left in the Obi-Wan versus Vader fight, nearly all of it. Except a few things. I did cut out Leia and Tala, a lot of that stuff at the end, because the Leia does not get captured at the end. So I basically just cut out episode 4 entirely with all the Inquisitorius scenes. All of the Fortress Inquisitorius scenes, because episode 4 is by far the worst episode of the show. The only scene I have of Fortress Inquisitorius is when they discover the planet that Obi-Wan is on in episode 3, that section of the movie. And I only include the first half of the scene, because then the fifth brother is taunting Reva, and I don't have any of that stuff in it. The only scene I include here is the first scene with the Bacta tank, and yeah, the Ronja beam straight away, and we go into the 5th episode. So I did it's the same as the one that I skimmed through. He did that as well, and the Patterson cut actually included the Vortis Inquisitorius scenes, which was a bit weird. I think he only made them like 15 minutes, although he kind of trimmed them down a lot, which is kind of cool. Yeah, though I will admit that the Force Inquisitorius is structurally kind of fits in the show in a way because it kind of feels like there's supposed to be something between the first Vader and Obi-Wan duel and them arriving on Beam. I feel like there's supposed to be something in between there, even if it's not that big, just more than just the back to tank scene. I feel like there's some missing. I included a lot of stuff in episode 5. The one that I skimmed through actually kind of added like a kind of a color shade to the whole Anakin and Obi-Wan duo that was to go through the whole episode, which was kind of weird but different, I guess. I basically included every single scene for the episode. I did actually kind of include the Grand Inquisitor, Rita become the Grand Inquisitor, which is kind of weird because so far the Grand Inquisitor has only made one appearance in the show back in Tatooine and has never actually been mentioned again, really. So yeah, it's a bit weird. I basically include everything from this episode, just cutting out a few scenes here and there, but nothing really notable. I basically include the whole episode because it's pretty important. Now Reva's backstory is actually kind of a twist. We actually see that she was a youngling back in Order 66, so it's kind of like Jedi Fallen Order in a way that we actually get it as a twist. But I did just have Reva die here, and though I don't think the Reva dying was a great idea, I needed to trim out the whole Grand Inquisitor and Reva thing just for time reasons and all that. I didn't want this to be super long, so Reva dies, the Grand Inquisitor didn't just come back, apparently the Grand Inquisitor just became the Grand Inquisitor again. So yeah. Episode 6, I included basically half of this episode. You might expect me to include all of it, but no, Reva dies, so her plotline basically get thrown out the window. Basically, yeah, so this show basically just doesn't have Beru in it at all. Or the movie doesn't have Beru in it at all. And I'm pretty sure that the one that I skimmed through, I think it had the whole Reva killing Luke thing, I think that, but the Patterson cut just kind of removed that, so yeah. You can kind of see why mine's the shortest one. I did not include a lot of it because, just trims down the movie. I feel like Reva would just be better in a different show anyway. Maybe like Jedi Fallen Order 2? I don't know, man. I just feel like Reva can be more suited to that kind of game. I include the whole Obi-Wan and Vader duel, what blah 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 blah. I include all of the ending scenes. I include basically most of the stuff here, except for again the Reva stuff. So yeah. And the Grand Inquisitor makes a second appearance in the show, the movie here at the end. He's on the Star Destroyer as well, because I can't really cut him out. Like, what's the point of that? And that is it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sorry you're not able to watch this edit, but whatever, you're able to watch the whole show on Disney Plus. So, yeah, the show is pretty alright. There's another Obi-Wan Kenobi video out of the way. We're gonna make another one. Only time will tell. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. I'm actually pretty excited to do more of these videos where I show off the differences I made by just trimming it down. I might do the Book of Boba Fett next, in maybe another few weeks' time, because I've actually already done that whole edit, and that's the runtime is 1 hour and 54 minutes. So it's a bit in the shorter end, but honestly, I don't really know how I could have made it longer. So, yeah, see you guys.